Okay, so here I have my beautiful crystal rooster, and I have the beautiful sun's rays shining down. The rooster is creating a prism effect, and what that does is it breaks up the light in a way and shows us the different colors that make up light, that makes up the sun's rays. So this is sun. This is what the sun does. And we have to take in this light into consideration when we're picking lighting for our plants and growing our plants. Because our plants need a lot of red and blue. Blue helps grow vegetation and leaves and is very helpful for photosynthesis. The red spectrum of the light is what encourages and helps blooming and flowering, so that's why we want red. Also helps with root growth. So, let's talk about the different types of lights that you can buy for growing indoors. We have our compact fluorescents, which is most common. And you can buy those in different color spectrums that help. So a T5 light is pretty good, cheap, easy to find. You can get a decent grow light, which will be in the pink and the red colors. You can get T8s. The T8, oh jeez, the T8 is not quite as powerful. It doesn't throw out enough, really that much light as the T5. And they're kind of older, but they're way cheap. And for me, I've been using just a basic white daytime T8 light for my papapedalums, and it's been fine for them. I have been using a T5 with a reddish pink grow light, and that has and that T5 with the reddish pink grow light has helped, but I also have those plants near an actual sunny spot, so they've been getting natural sun as well. And now I've been experimenting with LED lights that are in mainly the red spectrum with a bit of blue, because you gotta have both. Plants crave red and blue light. There are other lights that you can use, the metal halide lights and the high pressure sodium lights. Both put out a ton of power. They put out a ton of light. That's what a lot of growers, like really hardcore growers, people that are really into it, they tend to use those lights. And then there's ups and downs to them. Your high pressure sodium lights, the HPS lights, they have more of the red spectrum in the light that they throw out. So they're going to be better for growing plants that you want to bloom. The metal halide, that light tends to give out more of a blue light. And from my understanding, blue light is good for lettuce growth, anything that you want more vegetation and leaves. But it's also, blue light is also good for growing reef plants. So a lot of people that are into saltwater aquariums and are growing coral and that type of stuff, they tend to get the metal halide lights. So you got to know what you're growing for, and what your needs are. I'm distracted by this little thing. Dude. Ooh! Ooh, he's a fresh bird. He's got his little pin feathers. Ow, no bites, no bites, no bites! His little pin feathers on his face. Hey, hey! Look at his little pin feathers on his face. Aw. What kind of lighting do you need? birds need a full spectrum light. And they really do. They do. Birds need light. Just like people do. Vitamin... Whoa! What are you doing? Vitamin D and, you know, we need light. But anyways, what was I talking about? Okay, so your HPS lights and your mellow-halide lights are your, what we call, high-intensity discharge lights. HID. He gets really upset if I'm talking. He can totally chill on me all day long, but as soon as I start talking, he gets too excited and too crazy. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to come back and talk more later. Ow, no bites! Oh. 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 I'll come back. Alright, so baby bird had a bath. So now he's all mellow and happy. Look at him. He's so cute. So, now I continue with what I was talking about. So, depending on what you're growing for, that will help you decide on what type of light would be best for you. Cost is something. Initial cost to buy and maintain the bulbs, because you're going to have to change the bulbs, is a lot more expensive with your high intensity discharge lights, the HPS lights and your metal halide lights. They ultimately are going to cost you a lot in the long run. They use a lot of electricity to throw out the amount of power that they do, and the bulbs are not cheap. And the bulbs burn out. Now LED lights, on the other hand, you are much longer lived. You're going to get twice, if not double, the amount of time running them as you would with the other lights. Downside is a lot of these fixtures that you buy, these grow lights, these LED grow lights, you can't necessarily replace bulbs. And so a lot of times with these LED grow lights, one little bulb will go out, and then another year goes by and another little bulb goes out. And so it's not consistent, but overall LED lights are going to last you a lot longer, and they cost so much less to power. You know, you can have a 60-watt light, so it's using 60 watts to throw out the amount of power, but it's giving off more power than a 60-watt fluorescent would be giving off. Lighting. So I'm not an expert on lighting, but I have been researching it for a while for my planted tanks. Boom. Got a planted tank right there. And I've been researching now for orchids. So I've been researching for planted tanks. Oh, hi, wet bird. I've been researching for my planted tanks for a while. And now I'm researching for my orchids. So I know a little bit about light, but I don't know as much as others, of course. But that's what I know. And so for us orchid growers, we're going to be wanting to look at lights that have the higher red spectrum. We want blooms. Ultimately, all orchid growers want their plants to bloom. All right, here are the specs for my new light. Takes 60 watts to power it. Alright, so there's all my specs. This is a grow light that I bought off of eBay for a pretty reasonable price. It is red and blue lights. So here it is. I've set this setup up in my spare room with my fish tank. It's kind of a mess in here. But the fish tank, it's 100 gallons, and it alone will help bring some humidity into this room. This room stays pretty cool at nights during the wintertime, and most of my plants here like some cool temperatures So I figured this room would be good. It's a north-facing room, so this window is not really going to be providing all that much sun. So I have these grow lights, and you can kind of see the blue and the red, and you can see they make the plants look so creepy. And it almost hurts my eyes to look at it. But the plants, they look gross. But it's not about how the plants look when they're in growing mode. When they bloom or flower, I pull them out and I enjoy their blooms. But if they're in their growing stage, they'll be under these lights. There's two. So I have one light here, and then I've rigged up another light under here. This is an experiment. I've never used these type of grow lights before. I've always just used old aquarium lights like a T5 and a T8. So trying out these lights with the red and the blue spectrum will be fun, I think. Oh, I hear coyotes. Ugh, I hate hearing coyotes. Okay, so there's my grow space, and I will keep you guys updated on how they do in this strange setting.